What is going on, Nav Nation, and welcome back to another video. Today we are continuing with the monthly series Underrated Pokemon Cards, a series where I provide you all with cards or products that I think are either underrated, undervalued, or perhaps even unknown by the average investor and the overall market. And today is no exception. I have some fantastic products here for you that I know you're going to love, so sit back and let's have some fun. But before we get started, guys, just a quick announcement here. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers as part of this amazing community. So be sure that you hit that subscribe button and join the Nav Nation. And on top of that, if you like the content that I'm putting out and the information that I'm providing, then be sure that you thunder punch that like button. Let's try to get this particular video to 300 likes, and I appreciate the support ahead of time. And with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our first underrated Pokemon card product. And with this one, we're taking it all the way back to the Sun and Moon era. And it's very unique, unlike many other products that I saw released around that time. And we are talking about the Ash vs. Team Rocket deck kit. Now, this was a Japanese exclusive product that, as the name entails, was only released in Japan. We didn't receive this anywhere else in the world. And if you guys have watched many of my other videos, you know I'm a big fan of Japanese exclusive items. If we look at the history of these products and we look at their long-term viability, the fact that they are only released in Japan typically bodes pretty well for it over the long term and its overall value and appreciation from its initial release. And I think this is no exception to the rule here with this particular product. Now, it was centered around the Sun and Moon anime as well. This is another facet that I thought was really unique in that we don't get a whole lot of TCG products that are actually centered around the anime. And again, if history is any precedence, the products that we have had that are centered around the anime have done very, very well. And I think that we might be seeing something similar here with the Ash vs. Team Rocket deck kit. The other thing that I love about this product, among other things, is that the artwork is actually created by the illustrators of the anime itself. Typically, the illustrators for the TCG are very specific to that. They only create cards around the TCG. Really, the last time that we had that in my mind was in the early WotC era when we had Kin Sugimori and some of those early illustrators that were not just for the TCG, but the games and the anime, all of the different facets of Pokemon. So it's really cool to see that, where we had the illustrators for the anime that actually created the artwork for these particular cards. Now, if you're looking at the value of some of the cards on the inside, the most valuable ones, the first being Ash's Pikachu. Now, this is really cool. I love when we have something that is tied directly to an anime character, in this case Ash. And we've had other ones before. We've had Red's Pikachu. We've had other Pokemon that are tied to gym leaders. If we go back to Gym Heroes, Gym Challenge. But I love that this is the epitomal duo from the Pokemon brand, Ash and Pikachu. Now, this card in a PSA 10 is going for around $300 out on the open market, which is really good considering the fact that this is a guaranteed card in each of these deck boxes. The population of this as well is also pretty low by the standards of this being similar to a product like a theme deck or a build and battle box. The pop for this in a PSA 10 is 180. Yeah, only 180 cards that actually exist in the current market in a PSA 10. So really good deal here, in my opinion, for a card that is, again, tied around the two biggest characters, in my opinion, from the Pokemon brand, and still relatively cheap by the standards of other cards that have come before it in the past that are very similar. On top of that, the other big card from this is Team Rocket's Mimikyu. So you can see here that we've got cards or Pokemon that are tied to Ash, cards that are tied to Team Rocket, as the name of the box would entail. So the Team Rocket's Mimikyu right now, current market value, PSA 10 is about $175, and in a PSA 10, the population on that is 156. So again, not very high considering that this was a guaranteed card in this deck box. But really the thing that sets it apart for me and makes it seem like an undervalued product is really the expected value of the cards on the inside actually exceed the value of the deck box itself. So if you're looking out on the open market, sealed products of these deck boxes are only going for around $300. And when I look at that and I see, okay, the Pikachu and the Mimikyu, going for well over $100, the Pikachu going for $300, exceeding the overall value of the deck box itself, I think this is a really good opportunity for many people out there, especially those type of investors that are more value investors that are wanting to get in on the ground floor and be able to pick up products for what I believe to be a discounted price. I think this is definitely an item that you want to keep on your watch list, and they're getting rarer and rarer. I have to tell you guys, each time that I look on eBay or Mercari or TCG Player, any of these websites out there, it does seem like they're getting more scarce and more people are being turned on to just how much potential these products could have. So if you're going to be picking them up, I would suggest doing it fairly soon because I imagine over the next 6 months to 1 year, these products are just going to get more and more scarce and also more and more valuable. Next up on our list, we've got a blast from the past. We are taking it all the way back to 1997. And I have to be upfront with you guys, I might be a little bit biased with these particular cards, and it's not because of the cards or the Pokemon themselves, but it's more tied to the car manufacturer. Yeah, you guys heard me right, the car manufacturer. Now, I am talking about 1997 Toyota campaign Pikachu and Arcanine. Very unique cards here, and if you guys are looking at the artwork, they might seem pretty familiar because we actually received reprints of these later on down the line. So let me give a little bit of background on these cards first. So in Japan, these cards were designed by Ken Sugimori. Yeah, the OG, one of the original illustrators. We were just talking about him earlier, and they were available through a Toyota auto campaign in October of 1997. Now, the reason that I say I am biased is I am a longtime Toyota owner. I had a Toyota pickup, a Toyota Tacoma that I actually purchased my senior year of high school, still have it to this day, and it was really cool to come across these products. Toyota is a huge brand in Japan, really worldwide, but the fact that you really have one of the largest car manufacturers, vehicle manufacturers from Japan combined and really collaborating with the biggest brand probably overall from Japan being Pokemon, this is such a cool collaboration. And again, you guys know I'm big on collaboration pieces, cards that commemorate certain events, or in this case that cross over with other industries. I think this is huge, and these are really two of the biggest brands in Japan. So if you were lucky enough to go into a participating dealer back in 1997 and were able to pick up one of these folders, then you received these two cards, the Pikachu and the Arcanine. Now the Pikachu, again, you will recognize the artwork here because we later received a reprint of this in a Black Star promo number 4 Pikachu card that was featured for Pokemon the first movie. And these are so nostalgic to me, this particular artwork. I love the Black Star promo cards. And again, this was the original card that was featured that was later reprinted for that Pokemon the first movie. So as far as values out on the open market, let's go ahead and talk about those real quick. The Pikachu right now in a PSA 10 is going for around $3,000. Now you will find very few sold listings out there. These cards, guys, are super, super rare. Just talking from a population standpoint, the Pikachu itself is a pop 9 in a PSA 10. Super low populations to say the least. Now the Arcanine, I actually could not find any sales data for the Arcanine in any particular grade. That's how rare I think these cards really are. The population on the Arcanine in a PSA 10 is a pop 10, Again, guys, this super low populations. I really could not believe it when I was doing my research on these cards at just how rare these cards really are. And if you're the type of person that's looking for sealed products, if you're more of a sealed collector or a sealed investor, you can find a couple of the sealed pamphlets that were actually given to customers at participating dealerships back in 1997. And those sealed pamphlets are going for around $900 right now out on the open market. So I think that is a fantastic deal. I think that is a super big discount for cards that are extremely low populations and have so much upside potential. And it's just such a cool background. The fact that they combined with Toyota, that these were handed out at dealerships when, so you could be driving down the road in your new Toyota pickup and you had your pamphlet of Pikachu and Arcanine sitting beside you, probably in the glove box. Just so cool. And as I said, being a Toyota owner for so many years, this was just such a unique piece that I had to mention here today. So be sure that you guys go out and check these out. And rounding out our list of this month's underrated, undervalued, or unknown Pokemon cards, we will make our friend Real Breaking Nate very happy with this one. We are talking about the PokeKyun Psyduck. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with the PokeKyun set, let me give just a little bit of background right up front. So PokeKyun is a Japanese subset that was released during the XY era. It is technically known as CP3, so very similar to what we saw with the Japanese evolutions, which was CP6. It was released right during that break era of cards, and you'll find very similar cards in this particular set. Now, the set itself revolves around what are considered hyper cute Pokemon. So Pokemon by most people's standards that are very cuddly, very cute, those type of Pokemon. And it features completely hollow cards, much like what we saw in the Shiny collection. So this PokeKyun collection in general, if you're not familiar with it, I would definitely recommend checking it out because it is a very unique set and one that in and of itself, I think, has a lot of potential later on down the line. But the reason that I chose the Psyduck in particular is that this was a promo card, so it wasn't a part of the mainline set. It was a promo card that was given to customers who made specific purchases at Pokemon centers during May and June of 2016. So it was a very short time frame, and it wasn't at every single Pokemon center, and you had to make, as it said, specific purchases in order to actually get this promo card. So it was very difficult to come by, and Psyduck is a Pokemon that is a fan favorite, and the artwork on it, just itself is so unique and really ties into that whole PokeKyun theme of very cute Pokemon, very similar artworks to what we saw. To my knowledge, it was actually the same illustrator that designed all of the cards for the PokeKyun collection, and this Psyduck promo card actually features the logo from the PokeKyun collection as well. So really unique card there, released during a very limited time frame, during a very limited run at only a few Pokemon centers, and again, you had to make specific purchases in order to get this card. Now, looking out on the open market, if you're looking at the value of this card, now I could not come across any PSA 10s for this one in my research. So PSA 9, this card is going for around $1,500 in that PSA 9 condition. And in a PSA 10, this is probably the reason why I couldn't find it. In a PSA 10, this is a pop 13 for this particular card. So super low pop, and a lot of that is due to the limited print run, the limited ability to actually garner this card during its run during 2016, because again, it was only in May and June of 2016. So I think this is a fantastic card to take a look at. Again, the PokeKyun collection in and of itself is a great subset that I think has a lot of potential, but this card in particular, being a promo, very limited print run, a very short amount of time that you were actually able to get it, and the fact that its population is so low right now, I think this is a card you definitely have to keep on your radar, and one that I think is certainly underrated at this particular time. So that is going to do it for today, Navigation Nation. Let me know what you thought of this month's underrated, undervalued, or unknown Pokemon cards. I would love to hear your opinions. And also let me know down in the comments below what other Pokemon cards or products you think should make these lists and the ones that you guys are keeping on your personal radar. Other than that, guys, I will see you all next time. My name is PokéNav. I'm here to help you navigate the world of Pokemon one video at a time, and I will see you all in the next video.